Review for Chapter 10, day number 1. This is the second page for day number 1. We're going to find the number of possible 5 card hands that contain 5 red cards. So to have 5 red cards, the number of red cards possible are 26, and you're going to choose 5 of them. When you look over here at your chart, remember that these are spades, these are hearts, diamonds, these are clubs. The spades are black, and so are the clubs. Diamonds are red, and so are the hearts. The face cards are the king, queen, and jack. So when we calculate 26 C5, you need to go to your calculator, type in 26, math over to probability number 3, type in the 5. There's going to be 65,780. You want 1 spade, you want 1 card that is not a spade. 4 spades. There are 13 spades possible. You're going to pick 4 of those. From that, you're looking at 39 cards are available, and you're going to choose 1 of those. $13 C4 times 39 C1 is 39. So we have 27,885. You want 3 face cards and 2 cards that are not face cards. Well, there are 12 face cards possible. You're going to choose 3 of them. Of the 12, there's 40 left over. You're going to choose 2 of them. That's 220 times 780. 171,600. Lots of different ways that could happen. Binomial theorem. We start with the Pascal's triangle. We have 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. The number of terms is always 1 more than the value that you're working with. We put down the x to the 4th, x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd, x to the 1st, and x to the 0 power. Negative 2 to the 0, negative 2 to the 1st, negative 2 to the 2nd, negative 2 to the 3rd, and negative 2 to the 4th power. Put pluses in between. This is a pattern called the binomial theorem that allows us to calculate a binomial, which is 2 pieces, to any power that we need. 1 times 1 times x to the 4th. This is 4 times negative 2 times x cubed. 6 times 4 times x squared. 4 times negative 8 times x. And 16. So we get x to the 4th minus 8x cubed plus 24x squared minus 32x plus 16. You would get the same thing if you laid out x minus 2 4 times and FOILed it all together. You'd get the same result. The 10th row of the Pascal's triangle. Using a Pascal's triangle that you've already made, you come down and look at your 10th row. You see that you have a 1 and a 10, and then several numbers that are made by the previous two numbers that it's in between. 126 plus 126 makes 252. 126 plus 84 makes 210. And so forth all the way through. So what is the 10th row? The 10th row is 1, 10, 45, 120, 210, 252. Then we start going back down again. 210, 120, 45, 10, and 1. We're going to find the coefficient, which is that leading coefficient in the term x to the 6th power. If we would work this problem out using binomial theorem, we would find out all the different values. So we're going to use the formula NCR a to the n power b to the n minus r power. Actually, put that in there backwards. N minus r, this is the r. So, to calculate our values, the r value equals n minus the a. So when we look at this, we're going to figure out our NCR. Our n is 10. The r value is the difference between, here's our a value. So 10 minus 6 is 4. A is 2x. Using our 10 minus that, these are going to match, so this is 4. Your exponents have to add up to be your exponent in the problem. 10 to the 4th, 10c4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 210. 2 to the 4th power is 16. 3 to the 6th power is 729. So we got 2,449,440. So with number 25, we'll take our 9. Take our 9 minus 7, which is 2. Our a value to the 2nd power, or to the 7th power. So I'm going to need to adjust this one. -5 to the 2nd power. backing up to number 23, this should have been a 6. This should have been a 4. For a calculation for number 23, $2,797,760. On this side, this would come out to be 220, 9C2. 27 to the third power when you start over. Zero, 1, 2, it's 36. $128, x to the 7th. Negative 5 squared is 25. So we're going to be given 36 times 128 times 25 which is 3,041,280. So using our formula, the term here has to be that of what you're trying to find. Your R value is whatever it's going to take to get those two to add up to the power that you're looking for. So down here, we took 9 minus 7 to figure out that this was our 2, that this was our 2. We're looking to the 7th power, so we knew our x had to be to the 7th power. These two add up to be what you're looking for. These two always add up to be what you're looking for. Adds up to 10, adds up to 10. Number 27. A teacher is holding tryouts for a school musical. There are 35 students trying out for 7 identical chorus parts. That means there's no special order. They're identical chorus parts. In how many ways can the teacher select the members? Okay, it's a combination because it's identical parts. So that we would look out and we would see that there were 15 C7, which would give us 6,435. You have a plastic sheet that holds 9 trading cards. You want to fill the plastic sheet with football cards consisting of 4 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers. In your collection of cards, you have 10 quarterbacks, 7 running backs, and 8 receivers. In how many different ways can you select the cards? So, we have 10 quarterbacks. We're going to choose 4 of them. 7 running backs. We're going to choose 3 of them. And we have 8 wide receivers. We're going to choose 2 of them. So that's 210 times 35 times 28. 205,800. For 10.3, you have an equally likely chance of choosing any integer from 1 to 180. Find the probability that the number is odd that's going to be chosen. So odd is going to be half the numbers, from 1 up to any even number, which is up to 80. It's going to be half the numbers. So there are 40 possible numbers that are odd. Out of 80 possible numbers, it's a 50% chance. We call that 0.5. A perfect square. 1 is a perfect square. 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64. That's 8 times 8. 9 times 9 is 81, so that's too much. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possibilities out of the 80. 0.1, although otherwise known as 10%. A multiple of 3 is chosen. Multiple of 3. So 3 is going to go in every third time. So 3 goes into 3 evenly. 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48, 51, 54, 57, 60, 63, 66, 69, 72, 75, 78. So we can see that there are 26 possible numbers here. We also could have taken our 80 and divided that by 3 to have gotten 26 and 2/3. Okay? So our likely, the probability for this, the likelihood, is 26 out of 80. 13 out of 40. You're rolling a 20-sided die, numbers 1 through 20. What are the odds in favor of rolling a 10? You have 1 10, and you have 19 that are not 10s. There are 3 numbers, and there are 17 that aren't those 3 numbers. Whoops, this is odds against. So it needs to be not favorable over favorable. This was favorable over not favorable because it was odds in favor. This is odds against. So there's 17, and then there's 3 that are what you are interested in. These are odds in favor of rolling an even number less than 10. 2 is an even number, 4, 6, and 8. Odds in favor say that there's 4, and there's 16 numbers out of your 20 that aren't favorable. That's 1/4.